And we welcome you to the Rick Allen Problems Podcast, or at least that's what we're calling it this week. And we are just two this week. Colin couldn't be here last second, so we promise we haven't kicked him off the show, and he hasn't quit. There's just been schedule conflicts, so hopefully next week he'll be back. And we kind of didn't look for a guest until about 5 minutes ago, but it is precisely 25 minutes after 3, which is our normal airtime. So let's get this started. Here with my co-host Riley White, as always. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me again. Yeah.
I'm still yet to kick you off the show. So,
well.
Yep, it's been a really slow news week for like the last month. So I guess a slow news month. There hasn't really been much to talk about except more throwback paint schemes. So, but before we get into the show, I want to go back to something we talked about last week with Joey Logano's throwback. And I'm not calling out the person who posted that picture because I could understand that. But in case you didn't know what happened last week, if you guys didn't see, Riley told me that they unveiled a Joey Logano throwback on, was it Milo's Cup Series Instagram page?
I think so.
Yeah. And so I went on there and I was like, that's not a real car. That's an Inner 2003 fictional. And so I commented that. And not the person who posted it. There's nothing wrong with what you did. Somebody else called me a dumbass and said it was real. And I was like, really? Look it up. It's an Inner 2003 fictional. I paint on that mod on a daily basis. Sure enough, they unveiled Joey Logano's throwback like 3 days later. Guess what car it wasn't? The one that they posted. So, who's the dumbass now?
Still you.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, so Nana Nana Boo Boo, stick your head in doo doo.
I'd rather not.
Yeah. Anything you want to talk about right now?
Like the random stuff?
Yeah.
What did you want me to reveal my big announcement?
Yes, do it.
All right. Well, I reached 250 subscribers.
That was me golf clapping. Sorry. I don't know why I do visual jokes. Nobody can see what I'm doing.
Yeah, even though it's not that big of a milestone, like I know there's so many other people. If you look at it, there is there's only maybe about 10 YouTubers that do stop motion that have more subscribers than me, which isn't.
This is. I mean, even if you were in a big community, like even if you did like Minecraft videos, like I did 250 subscribers is kind of a big deal because that's 250 people.
Yeah.
And like, I remember that was the milestone that I was stuck at for like 3 years. So, congrats on that though. That's, you've kind of made it big.
Yeah, mediocre.
Yeah. I keep forgetting I'm approaching 500, I think.
Yeah,
where am I at? Holy crap, I'm up to somebody subscribed to me today. I'm at 492.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Shut up. I was at 249 for like a month.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when we started doing the show, I'd been at like 489. And I was like, can just like one more person subscribe? Just round that number up, please. So.
Yeah, I was like, I want to do a contest or something, maybe, just for 250. And then I was at 249 once, and then I dropped down to like 246, and I was like, yeah.
The most frustrating thing was I had gotten my channel up to, I just about hit 300 like 2 or 3 years ago. And then right when I got close, YouTube went through and like cleaned out all of the closed channels and everything. Because previously, if somebody was subscribed to you and then they unsubscribed, it would still show them as one of your subscribers and it would still count. So they went through and deleted all those. Now, this was like a year after the mass stop motion exodus of 2011. So my subscriber count went from like 280 to like 190 because so many people had deleted their accounts between 2008 and 2010.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'll come back now. And it took me forever to get back up to where I was.
They did that on Instagram too. They like cleared out all the troll accounts and whatever here like a couple months ago, and I lost like 200 followers.
Yeah, I remember I was nearing 200 and now I'm at like 160.
Yeah.
I think they deleted one of my favorite pages, which was Big Gay Truckland, where they posted pictures of really stupidly built pavement pounders. So where people put just like huge low profile tires on their F250 with giant drop bracket suspension lifts and chrome exhausts and everything, and it looks completely stupid.
Jeez.
That page got deleted, and I'm sad. Speaking of YouTube, though, I want to apologize to all my subscribers for the slowness that videos have been coming out. Other than this, I've been swamped with work recently. I just finished a 5-day stretch where I worked 6 shifts in 5 days. I mean, 7.5 hours doesn't sound like much on a normal job, but in a restaurant, that's a lot. And I've been working pretty much every day for at least 5 to 6 hours. So I'm trying to get back on track, and I've been really stressed out from that and work, or I mean, in school. So, yeah. Plus, I'm trying to learn another language, which is really hard. So,
And why are you learning the other language?
because I want to learn sign language. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just signed ASL, but nobody can see what I'm doing because this is an audio show, and why do I keep doing visual things? Damn it.
Hey,
Yeah. So, yeah. Sign language is really cool, though. I've learned how to say, for about a week and a half, the only words I knew how to say were stupid and vagina. So, yeah. Because she was talking about if there's the Twitter trend peace sign forehead, where girls are taking pictures or selfies with like doing a peace sign on their forehead. A peace sign on your forehead in American Sign Language means stupid.
oh,
So, and then you can probably imagine what vagina is. So,
jeez.
yeah. Anyway, let's move on. This is supposed to be a racing podcast. And one last thing before we start. So every week, when I put up the show, I just use the auto-generated thumbnails. I want to make a custom thumbnail for the podcasts, but I haven't got around to it yet. Last week, I accidentally did the. Do you remember when I screen shared the the Google Hangout call, and it was just like an infinite tunnel of. It automatically generated that as one of the video stills, so you can see right here. It's just the infinite tunnel, and I was like, I should put that as the picture, but I'm not going to. So for now, it's Bad L's picture, which is perfect because half the time, whenever we have a guest, their picture defaults as one of them. So I'm like, oh, cool, it worked out perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, because I saw Matt's picture there a couple times.
Yep, 2 weeks in a row. Anyway, wow, the list of news I had just disappeared off my phone. So, Riley, say something entertaining while I try to get it back.
I had eggs for breakfast this morning.
Of course you did.
Because it was the first day back to school, and of course, school was done. Because, okay, so at my school, they have an elementary school on one side of the school, and then, like, it's not cut right in the half. Like, it's not cut in half, obviously, but maybe about quarter of the school is the elementary, and then the other 3/4 is the high school. And they always had just different floor tiles on the elementary side to, kind of show a line. Well, apparently there was too many high schoolers going across on the elementary side, so they decided to spend about $10,000 on a wall to put there instead of spending money on replacing the 12 computers that don't work in the computer lab.
What the fuck?
I told you my school's bad.
Well, that was my elementary school was so bad with their money. When I was it was either 7th or 8th grade, they were talking about, oh yeah, we're doing a fundraiser to get a new playground, and we were like, cool. So all the money we raise goes to something we don't get to use. And it didn't get put in there until my junior year of high school.
Wow.
It took them 4 years of fundraising to get a playground.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, what'd you guys do with all that money? It just reminded me of we did like a fundraiser one year, and like they were gonna have like some semi-pro BMX riders come and do like a stunt show, which was really cool, but they announced that in like September, and it didn't happen until almost June. So by the time that had happened, everybody had forgotten that it was a thing. You're like, oh yeah.
there's four elementary schools that all the kids, once they graduate grade 6, they go into grade 7 at the high school. And uh, one of the schools just closed down here a couple days, well, not a couple days, maybe like a month and a half ago. And do you know why? Because they only had 16 kids in the whole school. Not
What?
not even joking. 16 kids from grade primary to 6.
That is ridiculous.
I know that it's crazy.
Jeez.
And
Oh my
it's
God.
it's funny because that school had like an average of like 20 kids every year, and then my school, my elementary school, had about an average of 90. Then the other two elementary schools had, one of them had an average of 100 and another had an average of like 130, and then this one over here has an average of 20.
Oh my God. Well, that's like my elementary school that I went to. It's in a super small town. My class was the last class that needed two teachers to teach. So we had 50 people. So that was split up into two classes. We had two eighth grade teachers. Since then, every single grade has had under 30 people. So there's only been one teacher per class per grade.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're special.
Sounds like it.
I'm currently, for those of you wondering what I'm doing while Riley buys me time, is I'm getting open tabs of all the throwback schemes that have been revealed.
I didn't buy you any time. Like, how much?
Well, that's what I was doing while you were talking. So thank you.
Yeah.
So let's move right into the news then. I've got a list of all the throwback schemes that have been revealed. They were in order, but they are no longer in order. So
Oh,
whatever. We'll start with the first. Oh, whoops, wrong button. Start with the first tab that I have open, which is kind of a throwback. I don't know what's throwback, or no, it's a throwback to I think one of God, who owns Joey Gase's car? Why am I forgetting this right now?
Jimmy Means.
Jimmy Means. It's one of Jimmy Means' old cars. So
Yeah.
there's Joey Gase's. Mike Harmon's is really cool. It's a Bobby or Davey Allison throwback.
Yeah.
So
I like it. I like it.
yeah, it looks
I
awesome,
don't understand.
especially that it's on a Challenger body too.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
don't understand why it would be Mike Harmon too.
yeah. It's a shame that the car will probably run like 30th,
Yeah,
but it's still a cool scheme and cool to see it back. So
yeah, for sure.
um, I really like Alex Bowman's because it's got the modified Nerf bars all over it to look like Tom Baldwin, or I think Tom Baldwin and Tommy Baldwin are two different people.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's supposed to look like a modified, so that's really cool.
Oh, I don't even think I even seen that one.
How? I'm
All
screen sharing it right now, so you'll see it in the show.
right.
This one's awesome. Mike Bliss's Harry Gant throwback.
Oh yeah, that is pretty good.
Yeah, and then all the JD Motorsports cars. This is the only picture I have right now. Are all running like throwback numbers, so there'll be more. You'll see them race day, so because they typically run good. There's the real throwback and not the fake one for Joey Logano. There you go. Justin Allgaier running a AJ Foyt throwback, which is
Oh,
really cool. I really like that. Casey Kane's throwback to the old Jeff Bodine All Star Racing car.
that is a sick scheme. I have a,
Yeah.
podcast of, I forget if it wasn't raced. I know that, but I don't know if Dale Jr. raced the number 5 here a couple years ago in the Nationwide Series with that throwback on it. But I have
Oh, he tested it in like early 2008 with that scheme. That's right.
Yeah, I know it had the spoiler, like the wing spoiler, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And then finally, I can't remember, is Logano? Yeah, Logano's driving this week. It's a throwback to the old Hertz Rent Racers cars, so that's really cool too. So some really solid paint schemes, and there's a voicemail on my home phone that's beeping constantly. So Riley, find something interesting to say while I go delete that. Hold on.
All right. Well, he forgot a uh, he forgot a throwback scheme. Uh, Ryan Reed has a Lily Diabetes throwback scheme in the Xfinity series, and I believe Chris Buescher has one as well. I'm not quite sure what it's throwing back to. I don't even know if it's official yet, but yeah, I missed one. Oh crap!
Okay, I'm back. What did I miss?
Nothing. No, you missed a
Well, I
couple.
heard you say he missed something. So yeah,
You missed a
yeah, I know
couple.
I missed a couple, but I just pulled those from a thread. So
Yeah, you missed a Ryan Reed's throwback.
oh, it's right. Yeah, let me find that. And I just realized I'm still screen sharing. Whoops,
Gotta get
my
your
bad.
porn off there.
Yeah, I should probably not do that. It's like
And
people have is an FML where it's like a guy forgot he was on Skype with somebody and he started looking up porn and then bad things happened. Yep. There's a couple other that we haven't showed.
I mentioned Chris Busher, but I'm not sure if that was official yet.
It's been revealed. I don't know if it's a throwback, but it's an Advocare scheme. So
I didn't even
at
see the
first,
actual scheme. I only saw the front end and the rear.
yeah, at first we all thought it was going to be like a Chad Little John Deere throwback, but
Yeah,
yeah. I think it's loaded now. Yeah, there's a couple renders of Chris Bushers so far.
yeah,
There's this one right here, just kind of small. It's a it looks kind of like Chad Little's old car, but it's not. And then Ryan Reed's throwback right there.
not bad looking car.
Yep. And then this is the only preview we've gotten of the zero car this yet. So
Oh,
I can't find the picture of the four car yet, but that one's got retro decals on it too.
oh well,
Surprisingly, Jeff Gordon is the only Hendrick car not running a throwback this week,
which is
which is
gay.
yeah. They couldn't
Well,
have saved the rainbow car for 1 week.
like Exalta before the season, no one realized that uh, Darlington was going to be a throwback race. Like I doubt
Yeah.
anyone did. And then Gordon had 3M signed for this week and Exalta for Bristol, and Exalta agreed to it, but 3M said, uh, they couldn't agree on a throwback or whatever, and uh, they were happy that Exalta had won from last week, or not last week, but you know,
Yeah.
yeah, and everyone was saying, "Oh, I wish they had have had 3M on the front end and his Baby Ruth paint scheme that he ran in the Xfinity series in his first couple seasons."
What's really stupid about this whole situation is 3M has a retro contingency decal that they made for all the other cars, but they're not planning on putting it on Jeff Gordon's car. I mean, his scheme already looks like it's a throwback. It's got a
Yeah,
real old school design to it. Why not just throw it like what they did with Biffle last year? Throw a retro 3M logo on it.
yeah. I don't, I don't know.
It's just
Don't
irritating. I mean, Chase Elliott's running a throwback, so I mean, Jeff Gordon's the only one left out, which is just messed up.
yeah.
So who knows? Maybe they'll roll it out last second, but I highly doubt they will.
Well, I seen something on. It might have been Instagram that Jeff Gordon himself posted about how he realized everyone was disappointed that 3M wasn't revealing a paint scheme this week, but everyone should just be happy that Exalta had one last week, or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, Frank.
And I mean,
Hate
I'm
to,
glad the Rainbow Car made its comeback, but like it would have been cool to see them participate this week.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of throwbacks, this is probably the coolest news that I've heard. So NBC has been planning on doing like a retro themed broadcast for it, which is cool. But they're going to bring back Ned Jarrett and Ken Squire and put Dale Jarrett in the booth with them, and they're going to call part of the race. And that is awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. So if they had David Hobbs, who does the, I think that's his name, he does Formula One broadcasts, brought him back, they'd have the full team again. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
that'd be
really, sorry, go
pretty
ahead.
good. I think that'd be pretty good with all them there.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this weekend's race though. Even if the race isn't good, just everything around it seems really cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Any other? I think that's the only news I have so far. I mean, there's the rumor of NASCAR buying ARCA and merging it with the K&N Pro Series, but It's probably nothing to that, but if that were to happen, what do you think it would be like?
Eh, I don't know. I think it would be too much. Too many drivers.
Yeah, and the problem with that is ARCA has so many unique tracks, and because
Yeah.
it'd be NASCAR sanctioned, it'd be like, oh, let's just go to Kansas 4 times.
Yeah.
Las Vegas needs 3 races, so you'd probably see all the dirt tracks gone and all the good tracks, basically like Salem and Winchester, gone. So
Do they race at Bowman? Bowman Gray?
I I don't know if they do, but if they did, there would be a lot of more. I mean, ARCA drivers are already pretty bad, and putting them on Bowman Gray would just be a complete shit show.
There's a couple good ARCA drivers.
Yeah. I mean, there's Grant Enfinger. Will Kimmel's all right, but he hasn't had the equipment to win a race yet.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't really follow ARCA anymore.
Yeah, I don't
Definitely
really.
like, yeah. I don't want to see ARCA die though, because we
No.
need a place for all. I mean, I wish I knew more about the story of Roger Carter, the owner of one of the teams who just got arrested for being a con man. But one of his cars that they call the Mule started out life as one of Dale Jarrett's cars from 1997. And
Oh.
right now it's a 2007 Dodge Charger body on it that's just beat to shit.
Hmm.
So, like, we need more stuff like that in ARCA. We need old
Yeah.
race cars coming
Yeah.
back.
That would be a. I think that would even bring in a bigger fan base for that as well.
Yeah, I love seeing old Cup cars like with just like a new number slapped on it and be like, yeah, it's good. Just go drive it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's why.
definitely is the old style of racing.
Yeah, I love ARCA. It's it's fallen apart, but yeah,
Same with the trucks.
yeah. The trucks though, I think they've got a future with NASCAR knows the trucks is struggling, and there's something they can do to fix it. ARCA really doesn't have anything they can do to fix their series.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I guess we could move into the race review from last week. Did I see any of the? I did see the races this week, actually, surprisingly. We'll start with the first race of the weekend, Road America.
Hey.
What?
Wait, was Canada before Road America?
No, it was the day after.
Crap.
Yeah. I'm not singling you out. Don't worry. Goddamn Canadians. Anyway, uh, really wanted Darrell Wallace or Brian Scott to win that, but whatever. Nardburns won at his home track. So I guess that's cool.
Yeah, it was all right. I'd rather him than Tagliani, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, was even Tagliani wasn't even racing this week, was he? No, that's right. It was Ryan Blaney in the 22.
Oh yes, yeah. I'm thinking of the truck race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Karma getting Tagliani in a moment, but what was I picked Brendan Gaughan, that's right. Damn it. Let's see, we had
Oh, I picked JJ Yaley.
Who did
37th.
Who did Matt pick?
I forget.
I had it written down somewhere. I'll have to watch last week's show because I lost that note apparently because I wrote them all down. Shit. He probably won. We'll just say he won.
All right.
Yeah. I'm not good at fantasy picks, as you've noticed. So anyway, it was all right, I guess. I only saw like the second half, so whatever.
Yeah, I passed like 30 laps.
Yeah, or I turned it on in the middle of the half-hour caution that they had at the end, which that was a load of bullshit. Just red flag the damn race. Yeah. Meanwhile, trucks in Canada, I missed that, and we were going to call the show the How Will Eric Jones Lose This Week podcast, but Eric Jones won, so that's cool. And Alex Tagliani got some sweet karma.
Shut up.
Yeah. That's 2 years in a row he's wrecked Cole Custer in this race, so yeah.
Oh, well.
I don't feel bad.
I said
So,
we didn't get to see it.
Yeah, neither of us saw it, did we?
No, because I don't get the channel, and I was surprised because last year they took speed off, or Fox Sports 1. We don't have Fox Sports 1 here in Canada. And uh, uh, the only race we were able to see was the Canada race. And I was like, oh, sweet. So I figured, this year they might have it again. And nope.
Good old Fox. They're
Yeah,
terrible at broadcasting.
better than ESPN.
I don't know. ESPN had a really good team though towards the end. I think
Yeah.
I really liked Alan Bestwick, Andy Petrie, and Dale Jarrett. But yeah, their early broadcasts were awful.
I remember, was Wally Dawn back with them?
No, Wally Dallenbach was on TNT.
Oh, yes.
They weren't much better.
No, I remember here a couple years ago, I believe, it was 2011 when Gordon won Pocono for the 5th time.
Of course, you have that memorized.
I was sitting there watching and they were talking about it, and he had someone behind the camera. Wally Dallenbach, they were talking to him, and he said, I think Gordon will win today because he's won here. And then you could hear someone in the background whisper, four times. And I was like, oh my God.
That is awesome. Anyway, we can talk about the Indycar season finale. Did you watch that at all?
Yes, I was so devastated.
Yeah. Can I just say that double points suck and shouldn't be in motorsports?
Well,
Well, for the Indy 500, I think. But
yeah.
So why Sonoma? Without double points in either race, I think Montoya still would have won the title. And I think it's a load of shit that Montoya led the points literally the whole season and lost it in the last race because of double points.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like he finished a strong 6th place.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6th.
Yeah. Whatever. So I'm irritated about that. But I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Scott Dixon. Scott Dixon is an incredibly clutch driver. Yeah. But he was nowhere close to being the best driver all year. It was Montoya. So
and Graham Rahal.
Rahal was good too. And then Sebastian Bourdais, Sebastianed all over the back of him, and then yeah. So yeah, I mean, good IndyCar season, but it left a bad taste in my mouth with that. So
yeah.
And
now they don't even know if Montoya's going to return to Penske next year.
Really?
Yeah, I think I heard. Well, I don't think, but I'm pretty sure I heard that before the last race, there was speculation that he wouldn't return to Penske if he didn't win the championship. And well, he didn't win the championship. Now I haven't heard anything since then, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's weird. I wouldn't expect him to leave with the year that he had.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Well, hopefully Montoya gets him next year. So, and yes, I called him Montoya.
I thought you said something different.
It's just so much easier. You can just compress his name into one word.
Yeah.
Montoya. Yep. We didn't come up with a topic for this week's show, did we?
Stop motion.
Yeah, I guess we could just talk about stop motions in general, I guess.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Because that's about all the racing that happened this week. I mean, was Formula 1 last? No, Formula 1 was last week. That's right. You can tell it's a slow news week when the biggest news in Formula 1 right now is Lewis Hamilton has blonde hair. Yeah.
Oh my God. I think I saw that actually.
Just when you thought Hamilton couldn't get any douchier. No, I'm just kidding. It's going for that throwback Jacques Villeneuve look.
Yeah. Oh my God. Jacques Villeneuve used to look so freaking ugly.
Oh man, Jacques. Have you ever seen the YouTube video Jacques Villeneuve road course douchebag?
No.
It's somebody compiled some of his quote unquote greatest hits road course racing in 2011, 2012. They missed, this was before 2012 Montreal, which made it even better, but it's just him wrecking everybody in sight and just making an ass out of himself. And like I have a bittersweet feelings about Jacques Villeneuve because he hasn't won anything since 1997, and I kind of want to see him come back to NASCAR to crash it up. But he's going to be in Formula E next year, which is going to be fantastic. There's going to be so many cars that he's just going to push out of his way because he's like, I'm the best driver in the world. Get out of my way. And I've never looked more forward to Formula E. It's going to be great.
Shall we get in?
What? You still alive?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Okay. Yeah, we can move into the topic.
All right.
So, what do we want to talk about stop motion wise?
I don't know if you didn't mind agreeing with what I said about the excelling different stop motions excelling in different things about stop motion, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, like basically shout outs to series we really like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can start. I'm gonna have to look through my subscriptions real quick.
Well, I've been meaning to say this to well, he's Coke Zero Cup Series now, but his YouTube's EPRL Monster Cup Series. Carter Adelman of the Affleck Cup Series. I'm sure most of you guys know him. Well, Matt, I don't know if you do. But every time I watch his stop motions, it motivates me to make mine. I so want to comment that on one of his videos, but I don't know what it is about him because like his and Affleck's are so similar. I don't know how they can make it so similar. Like I don't know what their trick is. Their tracks are so similar. Their animation, their editing systems, of course they both use Movie Maker as do I, but it's so similar in every bit. I don't know. I do believe one of them does excel in animation a little bit better, but I shouldn't point it out. And I don't know, their camera angle, everything just seems so similar. But yeah, Carter, you do a great job with your stop motions.
I'm trying to remember whose it was that I commented on a couple weeks back, where I told him I was like, your animation's super smooth, but you could afford to speed it up a little. Oh, it was right here. It was Warren's. That's right. Yeah, Warren Henniger.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's people like that who are open to criticism who I can really appreciate, and not even criticism, but somebody like me who's been part of the stop motion community for over 5 years now. Not trying to brag, but I've seen just about every different type of stop motion, what you can do wrong and what you can do right. And when I told him, I was like, your animation's super smooth and that's awesome, but you could honestly afford, lose a few frames to get more speed.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for the tip. And I was like, that I'm one of the people who I can get kind of short tempered, but I appreciate the shit out of it when people leave me feedback on what I could do right, because every time I make a stop motion, I'm tearing it down as I'm watching it or as I'm editing it. And every stop motion I made, I could find something about it that I didn't like. But I always get positive comments out of it, and that's one of the reasons why I continue to do it, is there's people who really enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out, I want to see people make good stop motions, and I don't follow stop motions as closely as I used to, mainly because I'm kind of really picky about it. But I will say, I'm glad somebody like Double E Dud is really popular, because he puts his very strict uploading schedule he puts himself on. I'm like, I can admire the shit out of that. Like, I could never do that. I would never be able to make a stop motion every 2 weeks. And I mean, I'm not even subscribed to Double E Dud, and personally, I'm like, there's nothing wrong with his videos. I'm just not a fan. But
yeah,
I admire him, I think, more than I like him. Yeah.
Yeah.
If that doesn't sound gay at all.
No,
Anyway.
I know what you mean, because he's like, I've talked to him before. He's got such a busy school schedule, and I believe he may have a job and if he does, then it's probably busy too. Uh, but yeah, I don't know how he can do that. He's definitely not late.
Yeah, I'm looking at his uploads right now, and he's put up 3 stop motions in the last month.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's insane. I
yeah.
could never do that. It's been 3 months since I uploaded my last one, and I'm not even halfway done with mine.
It's the same with Colin
So
too. If like I'm not trying to
yeah, I'm
just
seeing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
uh, I'm not trying to just point out Colin because he's on the show, but I was looking at his uploading schedule there the other day. I believe he does have 3 stop motions in the last month or so.
Yeah, every time I'm on Instagram, it seems like I'm seeing another update from him. Like, yeah, I just finished another stop motion. I was like, you did one like 3 days ago.
Yeah, I know. It
Yeah.
was I don't know how he got one done in a week. If he's the type of person if he actually sits down and works on it, he can get it done.
Yeah.
It would be I don't know. I don't think I'd say the same about me.
It's funny because when I go back to when I first started in stop motions like 4 or 5 years ago, people's uploading schedules were much more erratic. It was just, all right, this video's done, and you can kind of tie it into how people are like, I don't want to say never satisfied, but how it's always like, all right, sweet, that episode's done. When is the next one out? And that seems to be what it's like a lot now. YouTube wasn't like that 5 years ago. It was just like, oh man, these videos take a while to make because you can't make money off it, so there's less incentive, but also like the market was much smaller. And now because YouTube's huge, people are more obligated to rack or to roll out videos every couple weeks in stop motions. And if you're like me, you're going to get left behind because you don't make them that often. But the fact that stop motion makers have been able to embrace the quick upload schedules that people have is just astounding because stop motion is not something that you can do fast.
Yeah, for sure. Like
Yeah.
here, EPRL, of course, mentioning him again. Uh, he finished a race, I believe, in 2 days, or maybe it was even one at the road course that he did here a couple weeks ago. Yeah, he uploaded one night, and then I think it was 2 days. Like 2 days later, he uploaded another one, and I was like, how?
Yeah.
He had green flag pit stops in the race. It was a road course. It was 8 laps maybe, and there may have only been like a couple cautions.
Jeez.
And I was like,
Yeah.
how?
Even if I had a better schedule of when I film, like I put so much work into the editing that I do that I'm like I would never be able to do a stop motion in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like I was aiming to do one every other month, and we're 9 months into this year, and I'm like, fuck, I've only done one. I wanted to do 6 this year, and so I'm still, I will do at least 4 in this season, but I want to do at least 6. So
Yeah. I think you should do 6.
I need to motivate myself because I've been so freaking busy recently.
Yeah.
Just like when I come home late for work, I don't even want to do it, but I just need to tell myself, I'm like, it's not even work. I'm just sitting in my chair and taking pictures of diecasts. Like it's not hard. I just need to get myself to do it.
Yeah, that's
So
the same with me. Like it is a little different with mine because I have mine set up on the floor, so I have to get down on my hands and knees, even though that sounds wrong, but you know what I mean.
yeah.
But it hurts my back for one thing, and my room is so warm. I have my fan, my ceiling fan, and my window open all the time, or my fan's on, I guess, and uh, it helps a little bit, but I always seem to, kind of choke up every once in a while because it's so warm in my room. Even if it's wintertime, even if we don't even have a fire on, it's warm. I don't
Yeah.
understand why. But like I believe there was once here in Martinsville whenever I did one night where I finished 2 laps. And then every other night it was 1 lap. And I
Yeah.
like I look back on Bristol. Bristol I finished in a week, and I was like, the only bad thing about that was my animation. I moved them just a little bit too much because I was getting carried away because that was around the time that I got together with Hannah, and I was like, yeah, I got a girlfriend, woo! But I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I need to work. I don't know.
What's kind of funny is that I finished last year. I did Makita Truck Series Race One, and that was when I just started dating a girl. So then I didn't make another one until 2014. So after we split up.
Hmm.
So like I I've now that I'm 20, it's going to be hard for me to balance like, oh, having a relationship and doing stop motion. So because it takes up so much room in my room.
Yeah.
And like what you were talking about, how you did on the floor, I used to do stop motions on the floor, but I've had a bad back for like the last 3 years, and so I've had to set up like a makeshift table to do my stop motions on, and it does make it easier too, because then I can get better lighting and less stuff gets put on my track, and then yeah.
Yeah.
So
Uh, yeah, like my knees are really bad. I have a disease in my knees. Well, I'm not trying to say disease because usually when I say that, people are like, "Oh, you got a disease." Well, it's like it's called Osgood splatter, and it's where one of the like where the two bones connect in your knee. Well, you know what I mean,
yeah,
and to the kneecap. And whenever I have too much activity, I know that sounds wrong, but
spend too much time on your knees.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
no. Whenever I have too much activity, doing sports and whatever, those bones start separating,
Ooh.
and uh, cartilage and everything starts building up in between it. And I can like when I used to play soccer, I played soccer from 2011 to 2014, summer soccer, and it wasn't until usually I think it was 2013 when I really developed this. My knees would give out during the games. Like I wouldn't fall, but I'd need to get taken off the field, and then I'd need to get lifted to the car to leave. And this year I was like, I'm gonna take a year off. I'm not gonna do any sports. Next year I'm gonna play baseball. In a way, it won't be as hard on my knees because I won't be running constantly like I was in soccer.
Yeah.
And and but it apparently you do grow out of it, like the Osgood splatter, you do grow out of it. But it's been hard on doing stop motion as well, like getting down. Yeah,
Yeah, I destroyed my back. Like just being hunched over working on it. I was like, after I finish the season, I can't do that anymore because it's just too much.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know Napa fan, his back has been hurting him in the past. Why he's stopped stop motion before, and
Yeah. Why is my home phone ringing again? Hang on, I'll be right back. Just a second.
all right, I'm gonna continue talking. If you guys can even hear me, I don't know if you muted my mic or not, but one YouTuber I really have to talk about.
There. I'm keeping the home phone in here, so if it starts ringing, I can just silence it.
I
Here.
was
Yeah. Um. See, we still have like 20 minutes in the show. If you guys want right now, you can submit questions. Shut up, Kuma. You can Doge. You can submit questions using either on this week's show or last week's show on YouTube, or using the Q&A app in the live stream if you're watching it on Google Plus. In the meantime, we'll just keep talking about stop motions. That's for our 3 viewers. We appreciate you guys coming out and watching us do this live. There's only 2 of us, so we're just kind of winging it this week. Yeah.
uh, I was talking while you were away. I said one YouTuber I really need to point out on how just I can't believe at how much effort and time and he puts into these stop motions. It's Under Armour Cup series.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm not sure if you're following him on Instagram, but his new Texas track is astonishing. Like here, I'm not sure if I can. You still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So here, I'll go on his Instagram account,
Okay.
and he has on his new crap. Yeah, his new track. He has obviously the track. He has the fencing, the uh, victory lane, uh, whatever the position thing, pole that
Yeah.
shows your position. He has the garage.
Hang on, I'm looking it up on the web version right now to screen share it. Oh, it's private, really? Well, are you still there? I think your mic just cut out. So we might be having technical difficulties at the moment, but given Under Armour Cup Series a shout out, apparently your stuff is really cool. So, and if and when we get Riley back, if not, I'm going to have to carry the show by myself, and I don't know if I can do that. So, in the meantime, if you guys want to ask us anything, it doesn't even have to be podcast or racing related. It can just be any stupid thing you want to ask me. Go right ahead now and find a place somewhere on the internet to ask me that. Let's see. What the heck? Oh, I just got an invite from Riley. That's weird. So we appear to be having some difficulties with Riley. We will take a short break. Yep, he appears to have dropped. So let's fix this in the meantime. Two nuts were walking through the park. One was assaulted. Nut. I guess I can say something funny about what happened at my work the other day, because I work in a small restaurant that is family owned. And I had just worked 4 days in a row and I was incredibly tired. And I got out of my class and I was told that, or I got a call from one of my coworkers and it was like, yeah, our dishwasher tonight, Riley has returned. Your video
Yes.
camera is on.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got a call and it was like, yeah, our dishwasher no-showed for the third time. And so we fired him. So can you come cover for us? And I was like, what? So what happened was he never answers his phone when you call him from the work phone. And we had one of our coworkers text him, one of the younger, somewhat attractive girls text him. And he told her, yeah, I'm not coming in tonight. Don't tell anybody, but I'm probably going to come in tomorrow and quit. So my manager took the phone from her and said, don't bother coming in because you're fired. I was like, yeah, get him. Because he no-showed and didn't call about it 3 times in a month. And he kept coming in. He wouldn't come in the days he was supposed to work, and he would always come in the 2 days that I would be working in the back and be like, oh, I thought it was working. I'm like, dude, your schedule has not changed since you started here. Figure it out.
Wow. So you've just been talking about your work?
Yeah, and telling really stupid jokes.
Like what?
So you were going to say something before you got disconnected.
Yeah, just I seen one post here before, like he deletes his Instagram posts. I'm not quite sure why, but one of his old posts, he stayed up until like 4 o'clock in the morning. He worked 15 hours straight on his stop motion. I forget which track it was. Under Armour Cup
Holy
Series,
crap.
and it just shows how much effort he puts into these, and it's starting to show. Like he's up to, I believe, 2,000 subscribers now.
Holy
It's
crap.
like I'm really happy that he's up there because it wasn't too long ago that he had around 500 or 600 subscribers, and I was like, this guy deserves so much more. And then now he finally, like, he's catching up to Affleck.
Jeez. Yeah, I need to get more into the stop motion community because I feel like I'm being left out.
It's
Yeah.
the same with me. Anytime, like, I know you were saying there before, or one other time you were saying how whenever you take so much time to release a stop motion, you lose like 5 subscribers, and then whenever you release one, you gain like 8. Didn't you say that once?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I'll release one and I'll jump up a bunch, and then like if I don't
yeah,
upload anything for a while, I'll like slowly lose some.
yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to build up a fan base when you don't have a good uploading schedule though.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so there's this. I'm sorry if I'm getting off track, but there's this channel on YouTube. I've probably mentioned this before to you, Vano's Gaming.
Yeah, I've heard of them, yeah.
There's this guy on there that sounds exactly like you.
That's what my friend Ariel said when I first met her. She was like, "You sound like Cinnamon Toast Ken a lot." And I was like, "I don't even." I looked that guy up. I was like, "I mean, yeah, he's got a sexy voice, but I can't. I don't hear the resemblance." Yeah.
Oh
I
my god.
when I was a kid, everybody always told me I was going to be an announcer. I'm
You
like,
were what?
I was going to be like an announcer, and I'm like, I wouldn't mind being a voice actor. I like doing stuff like that. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Uh, so have you got any questions? Or have we?
Let me check again. There's none in the Q&A app, and YouTube's notifications aren't really working. So,
Uh,
yeah,
well, if I could point out another YouTuber.
go for it. We're trying to run out the clock, so do it.
Alright. Dylan. Or crap. Not sure if he wanted any of you guys to know his name, but Smithfield Cup Series, as most of you know him as, the most
The most
average
average
43
43
fan.
fan. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the most average. Nah. Uh, he is a really good stop motion maker. I know, like we've been close. We've had our troubles before as friends, and he was like my. I know I've mentioned this to you before, Matt, but I'd like to share it with the viewers. Uh, he and I were like. He was my third subscriber on YouTube, and uh, it's been a while since we've had a good conversation. He I tried to help him when he was down, and he helped me when I was down, and we've had our laughs, and like I know once he tricked me. He said, or I made a YouTube channel called Jim Cacknail. Some of you know, when I was younger, when I used to, most of you guys that have stop motions used to, push your cars around on the floor. Uh, when I used to do that, I used to have a fake driver named Jim Cacknail. Well, I made a YouTube account named Jim Cacknail, and I went on Dylan's channel, commented on one of his videos, and said, "Oh my God, I'm your biggest fan." And he was like, "Oh, thanks." And I was like, I know this isn't the greatest thing to make fun of or fib about, but I said, uh, I wish I could have more diecasts like you. I only have two. I'm really poor. And then he was like, he said something, "Oh, I hate to hear that," or something. And then I was like, "Yeah, my dad's gonna buy me one when he comes back from the war." And then
Oh God.
and then he said something, and he was like, "Oh, I hate to hear it and everything." And then I said, "Do you have Instagram?" He said, "Yeah, I do." "Do you?" And I said, "Yeah, follow Riley underscore white 24."
That is awesome.
He was like, "Screw you." So then, like about a month later, he messages me on Skype. He's like, "Dude, guess what?" And I was like, "What?" And he said, "I'm moving to Nova Scotia." And I was like, "Seriously?" And he's like, "Yeah, Elmsdale or something," which is like 30 minutes away from me. And
Yeah.
I said, "Seriously? Are you actually being serious?" And he was like, "Yeah, my parents are talking to my Uncle Fred right now." And I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my god, and then we started like planning places to meet, and he
Oh,
and then he said, uh, my uncle Fred lives in Maggie's Lane, which is literally like a 10-minute walk from my house. And he said, I think we're gonna move in with him until we find our own house. And I was like, man, you're gonna come to our school if you go there. And he was like, seriously? And I was like, yes. And then he was like, no, I'm just joking. I was like, seriously?
that's awesome.
I was like,
So
oh my god.
yeah, he was like the first person that like made me realize I was like, holy crap, there's still a stop motion community.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
he he is such a good guy too. Like
yeah,
he's such a I know this probably sounds gay to some of you guys, but he's such a strong fighter. Like he was down and out about different things. I know I can't say anything, and I shouldn't even be saying this, but he was down and out a bit for a while, and I didn't really think he could get back up, but he fought through it, and yeah,
yeah. So this just proves how broken YouTube's notification system is, because we have like 20 comments on the video and it didn't tell me about any of them. So yeah. So let's see. Let's go through. Swipe TV Cup Series asks, "What is the mass exodus you're talking about?" That was for those of you who haven't been part of the stop motion community for a while. In 2011, the NASCAR stop motion community just died. Like, it's hard to explain, but there's a few major players, and I don't. Well, I mean, these people were kind of assholes, so I can throw them under the bus all I want. You had uh, Paul, who was Lego NASCAR 88 fan, who did the Octon Cup Series. You had Evan, who was Speed Zone TV, who did the Speed Zone Cup Series, and you had Xander, who was I don't even know what he did. He was like the self-appointed chairman of stop motions, where and basically those three made or no Evan, Xander, and somebody else made like a group channel to do predictions in 2009. And so that was kind of a cool concept. 2010 rolls around, and a couple other people, including myself, make group channels with people to do stop motion predictions because it's a cool idea and we want to do it. Xander starts going on crazy rants about how people are infringing on his copyright and things like that, and drove a ton of people out of the stop motion community because of that. What also happened was Evan and Paul got sick of people, apparently because little kids making stop motions is bad for the community. They quit because other people were making stop motions that weren't as good as theirs. And that basically killed off the stop motion community because all of their blind followers followed them. The thing that people didn't realize is all of them were egomaniacs, and I'm glad they're not making stop motions anymore. Because if anybody who remembers when the Octon Cup Series returned like last year, I knew it wasn't going to last. I was like, it's going to last one race. Paul's not going to do it because he was never punctual with his videos. And the video wasn't well made, and I criticized him for it, and people gave me shit about it. And I was like, this was a poorly made race. He's just. I'm sure Paul's a nice guy in real life, but he is one of the biggest egomaniacs I've ever met. And I don't want to talk shit about people on this podcast, but I'm glad none of them are still making it because you could say the big names that we have right now, like Double Ida and people like that, they seem much more humble and more involved in the community and things like that. So
yeah, for sure.
the stop motion community pretty much died in 2011. People just stopped making them. All the big YouTubers quit. There was no longer a market. And then like 2012 is like when it started back up again, I think. So, I mean, there were still people making stop motions during then, but there wasn't as big of a as a community then. So,
Yeah.
Matt L, a frequent contributor to the podcast, says, "I know I've brought up a lot of penalties in the past shows, but to see penalties being issued every race is a sign that NASCAR isn't strict enough of cheating. Do they need more serious penalties, such as suspensions? They did announce yesterday that any wheel or ballast falling off of a car will result in a 4-race suspension of the crew chief, tire changer, and tire carrier. Is this sort of increase that the NASCAR needs?" I was going to bring that up in the show, and I forgot about it. I feel like those are are penalties that need to be brought in because of safety issues. Because
Yeah.
did you ever see when Jamie Dick's car got hit by a weight?
Yeah.
Yeah, then it went through his windshield and hit his helmet.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I mean, NASCAR's rules are pretty strict now. There's, obviously teams are going to push the bubble. I don't know if penalties need to be more strict. I mean, I think it's ridiculous that a team can cheat and get a win and then keep the win. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's one penalty that I thought is always kind of broken. So
Yeah.
there should be some penalties that result in a disqualification.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Uh, Also, Jennifer Jo Cole had a cell phone in her car or her truck.
Yeah. Like I don't know, that's obviously against the rules, but I don't know if that's as serious of a
Yeah, I
of
yeah.
an offense.
Like, what does that even do?
I think it's just they have certain devices that you can use to communicate with your crew, and cell phones are not part of that list of allowed devices.
Yeah, I suppose. I never even thought of that. I thought it was like something could blow up.
Yeah. Let's see. If ARCA and NASCAR merged, what would they do with their two truck series? Because ARCA runs like a dirt track truck series, I think. I have a feeling NASCAR might keep it, but it would never be merged with the truck series they have right now.
Yeah.
Guys, or this is also from Swipe TV. What stop motion advice do you have for the two of us watching right now? Do you want to go first?
Sure. Uh,
All right.
One big thing is I know I fail at this quite a bit, but make sure your lighting is on point. Lighting, I never
Yeah.
really thought, whenever I first started stop motion, I was like, nah, I never even heard of having good enough lighting. And then it came to me, I believe it was Colin that pointed out, if there's a couple things you could work on, it could be your lighting, and you seem to have a lot of junk in the background. And I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty good tips. I was like, all right, so I'll try to improve. So I try to improve. Uh, I believe the next race I did was my Bristol race where I used the Christmas lights. People were like, ah, it's blinding. I was like, okay then. So I doubt I'm going to be doing it on night races. If I do, it'll be different lighting. Uh, and my lighting, I try to keep my curtains closed, and my ceiling light is my lighting. But once in a while, I get bored, and I end up turning the television on. Crap! What the heck? Television. Try to turn the television on, and then I'm watching the Blue Jays game, and there's like a bunch of flashing lights, and that just messes up the lighting while I'm working on it. And but yeah, try to keep your lighting as good as you can, and animation is really a big key. That's what a lot of people look for when they start watching stop motion is the animation good? Is it gonna look like an actual race? Like, is it gonna resemble Aflac and Double E and the big YouTubers? If your animation
Yeah. One thing. Sorry. Go ahead. I'll let you finish first.
All right. If your animation is like, I don't want to pinpoint anyone out or I don't want to call anyone out, but if your animation is like a couple people I've seen where you take like 5 pictures a lap, you're not going to get anywhere that way. Like
Yeah.
maybe,
You got to think about it. Most the golden rule really I've discovered with stop motion is 10 frames per second. 10 pictures
yeah,
per second. Every 10 pictures is a second of video footage.
yeah,
I would rather have cars moving too slowly than moving too quick.
yeah,
Because if you move them too slow, you can speed the animation up and then it looks just as good and smoother. So,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, everybody's first stop motion is really choppy because they don't
yeah,
know what to do. The thing is, be open to criticism is the one thing. And I'm not saying like if somebody tells you you suck, you have to admit it, but like if there's people are going to give you tips and be open to that. We
yeah,
want to see the stop motion community improve and get better.
yeah,
And I'm really hard on editing Like when I was tearing apart the Octon Cup Series race one, is his sound was really poorly balanced. So his voice was really quiet, and the engine sounds are really high. That's not okay. That needs, like, I feel like audio editing is one of the most important things. And one thing that really irritates me, I've done it a couple of times too, is if your video is 6 minutes long and the first 3 minutes are just starting grids and intros, cut most of that out. Like, you can look at I've torn apart my own Watkins Glen race. I know a lot of people liked it. I didn't like it. There was a lot of intro stuff, but I kind of justified it by this race it's a pretty long video, and it's the championship finale, so there's all the build up to it, and there was more trucks. That being said, I still didn't like how long the intro is, but you know, try not to fill your race up with too much. I don't want to say crap, but too much unimportant information like starting grids. Like starting grids are important, but it doesn't need to be half the video. That's like the only thing I dislike about some stop motions.
Yeah. Uh, One thing, keep it basic, like what you were just saying. Like keep it a good schedule with. Uh, I know JL Skevnicki does this. You might not know him, but Reebok Cup Series is him. JL
Yeah, I
Skevnicki
know him.
and Aflac Cup Series. They all run on a schedule where they do the welcome to whatever track, and then uh, they do the starting lineup or the drivers to look for, the starting lineup, the D and Qs, uh, a couple race facts. Some people do that. Then they do the race. Some of them do a caution, obviously, and then
Yeah.
it just seems like every race is so similar, but the track and uh, the
Yeah.
winners,
Yeah,
which
try not. I've noticed some of my races are kind of formulaic, and I've been trying to break away from that. But yeah, I've
yeah,
noticed that with a lot of races too.
yeah,
And it's keep in mind we're not tearing anybody's stop motions down. Like I can find little things about every stop motion I've done that I don't like. So I'm not. If you feel like you're being singled out, you're not, because I can guarantee I criticize my own videos heavier than I criticize anybody else's.
yeah,
So and I thought I had don't or not saying don't get but don't get too over ambitious when you first start. I've seen people. I've done this too, trying to run multiple series and making them with a bunch of cars and then getting swamped and then never doing them. Start small. If you
yeah,
look at the first season of the Makita Truck Series, 15 trucks.
yeah,
I've reached the point where I'm at 27. I don't want to go any bigger than that.
yeah,
I don't want to flood myself and burn myself out with too much work.
yeah,
Just, do what you're comfortable doing. Don't try to get over ambitious just because the top guys are all doing 40 car Gen 6 Cup Series. You don't have to do that. You can do freaking anything. You could use old cars. I actually like using older cars more than using new Gen 6 cars because it's so overdone.
yeah,
So, I mean, I'm not saying that's what you have to do, but that's what I personally like.
yeah. I know what you
So there
mean.
you go.
Like,
There you go,
uh,
Hunter. Your question answered in long form. What were you going to say, though?
oh, I know what you mean because I remember I tried the in season one of the Snickers Cup series. I had a little extra time. I seemed to be finishing those races in a fair good amount of time. I was like, I could start a second series. Just have 10 drivers or so. Charity series, yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I started it. I was like, I need to get this done, but I need to work on this race too. I was like, oh my goodness, I was so messed up. And then before Christmas, I was going to work on my Christmas special I was going to do, but I was like, I'm not going to do this. I can't. I don't have time. I have exams coming up. And I was like, I can't. So I canceled it. And then I was going to do that Go Homer race here a while ago that you signed up for Josh Wise in. I was like, I can't do this either. I don't have enough time. Exams are coming up again. And I was like, I just didn't have enough
Yeah.
time. I wish I had of, but I don't know.
To this day, I still want to bring back the Pennzoil Cup Series, but I don't want it to be at the expense of the Makita Truck Series because there's so few truck series stop motions, and there's so many people who are invested in this series. I don't want to get rid of it, and I mean I like doing it too. So
Yeah.
yeah. So just do what you're comfortable with. Don't swamp yourself, and just make sure your videos are polished. You don't worry about upload schedules. Make sure you're putting out quality videos, and quality over quantity is something that I've always said.
Yeah.
Swipe TV also says, Riley, I think Gino and Cook's Zero Cup Series are neighbors, sorta. So
No, I don't want to give away where they live, but Gino lives in Michigan and Minnesota is Carter's. I'm not sure
yeah.
if those are close, but
Cody Hagen asks, who likes the new Google logo? It's all right, I guess. I mean, it's a logo.
I haven't even
Obviously,
seen
we're
it.
all kind of nostalgia blinded to the old one, but it's fine, I guess. I don't like the little thumbnail or icon up here,
Oh,
but yeah, I don't know. It's all right, I guess.
it's not bad.
Yeah. Max the Gamer asks, who do you think will have the advantage going into Darlington? I'd say Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, just like what I was saying earlier this year, if Kevin Harvick doesn't win the championship this year, they'll have to look back at the season as a disappointment.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have the wins to show it, but they've been faster, they've been more consistent than they were last year,
Yeah.
and there's no reason why they shouldn't win win the championship.
Yeah.
NASCAR Racing Video says, I have no life, so I feel obligated to watch this. Well, we appreciate that if you had a life, you probably wouldn't watch us, but we do appreciate you watching the show. Thanks for tuning in. Max Gamer also asks, where's the next Makita Truck Series race? It is a super speedway. It's the track I used for the Traxxas 400 that I made a couple years back. I don't think I have a name for the track, to be honest. I think I had a name for it in that race, but I didn't like the name, so I'll come up with something new. But it's a super speedway, so.
I have a good name.
What?
No Name.
Ooh, No Name Raceway.
No Name Super Speedway.
There you go. Swipe TV asks, can you make a reaction video of you watching an episode of Boku no Pico?
Oh my
No
god.
Pico.
You gotta watch that.
Yeah, now that I've been, I kind of have to do it now.
If you ever
I don't know.
watched
I'll look into it. I'm not gonna shoot the idea down, but I'll look into it. So
it is about a couple friends or brothers or whatever. They just go on a couple adventures, you know?
I'm assuming it's anime though,
Yep.
and there's probably some weird anime stuff going on.
Yep.
All right, I guess I'll have to look into this then.
All right.
I'm not shooting the idea down, but maybe I'll think about it.
You gotta do it.
Max the Hedge. Yeah. All right. Mac the Hedgehog also asks, I had a NASCAR stock called the Dollar General Cup Series, and it died, but it's coming back to life next year. How do you plan to make your comeback? It's not really well, I guess it is a comeback because I haven't made anything in a while. I've just been stressed out from work and school and life. Just one day, Makita Truck Series Race 2 will pop up in your subscription box. So, there you go.
2020, that's 2020.
Yeah. Should be done between end of September and 3 years from now. That small time window. There you go. Oh, geez, so many comments.
That's good.
They just keep coming. Newest first. Matt L asks, how many laps is too little? Obviously, it depends on the maker, but for myself, I usually have like 5 laps counting cautions, which I know isn't much.
Yeah.
If you're going for a short race, 5, like a shootout, 5 is okay. I try to make my races at least, like counting cautions, at least 20, which sounds like a lot, but I also have a lot of editing, so I'd say 10 is like the minimum for me. I don't know about other people, but yeah, if you want to do like little short shootouts, I think 5's good. Matt also asks, or sorry, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah, whatever you feel comfortable with doing it. You don't want to stress yourself out doing too many. Like I I was planning on doing 30 laps for Martinsville, and I'm only going to do 20 because 20 is a lot itself.
Yeah. I mean, you can look at my Watkins Glen race was 10 laps, but that video was still like 12 minutes long. So,
Yeah.
Matt L also says, "Did you either of you see my Snapple Truck Series race? Also, is it worth doing a season 2? I'm debating it, but I'd rather work harder on Amp Cup Series season 2." I think I watched Snapple Cup Series a while back. I don't know if I've watched it recently. As much as I'd love to say I'm the only person making a Truck Series stop motion series on YouTube, I kind of need some competition. So, I mean, I'd say whatever you want to do most and whatever people want to see you do most. So, I mean, like I've said a while back, don't do something specifically for the reason that somebody wants you to do it. Do it because you want to. Do stop motions because you find them fun and you want to see a cool product out of it. But just do whatever you want to do, and you'll find a fan base if your videos are good. So.
Yeah. Which they were. I loved the Snapple Cup series, or Truck series. Crap.
Yeah. Wherever I know I've watched it, but I don't remember when I watched it. So.
Yeah.
Wow, we stretched this show out to an hour. We did it. I'm so proud. I think that's all we got for questions wise. We never did fantasy picks. We keep skipping those. Oh shit.
Oh wait.
Since
I have one more thing.
What? Go.
It's a joke.
Do it.
Okay, so you know how when 3 people have sex, it's called a threesome, and when 2 people have sex, it's called a twosome. Now I know why they call you handsome.
Oh. I laughed, but it hurt. Yeah, I know. I've heard that before. I went to public school.
Hunter, that was the other thing Hunter told me to tell.
Okay, good.
That
glad
and that
to know.
No Piku thing or whatever.
Thanks. I'm glad to know that people I vaguely know on the internet are also making fun of my relationship status. So, but if this ASL thing works out, hopefully it's not that long or like that for long. So, shit, why wasn't supposed to say that on the show? Damn it, because if she's watching now, she'll know my plan.
I doubt she.
Well, hopefully she's not watching.
Why would she be?
I don't know. She doesn't like NASCAR, so she shouldn't be. Anyway, now I'm gonna get pestered with the comments like, "What are you talking about?" Like, don't worry about it. Well, and since you did worst in fantasy picks last week, I'll let you pick.
All right. So, is there a truck race this weekend?
I don't believe so.
All right. So, just Xfinity and Cup at Darlington.
Yeah.
All right. So, Xfinity, I'm gonna go with Chase Elliott.
Oh, damn it, that's who I was gonna do.
Well, if you were gonna do that.
No, you already picked. Just go.
And Cup, as much as I want to go with Harvick, I'm gonna go with Hamlin.
Oh, thank God. Elliott and Harvick were gonna be my 2 picks.
Yeah, as much as I want to go with Harvick, I'm gonna go with Hamlin because he used to be so good at Darlington, and I just believe Gibbs has enough power lately that Hamlin could get another win.
Yep. All right, my picks for Darlington. Cup, obviously Harvick. Xfinity, I want to say Brian Scott because he's run there good in the past, but I don't know. You know what? I'll go with Brian Scott. Yeah, I'll say Brian Scott.
Yeah, all right. All right, then. Up for Brian Scott. Been out.
Yeah, he'll wreck this week because I picked him, so. Because I'm terrible at these fantasy picks. So, yeah. Well, I guess this brings us to the end of the show. Somehow we stretched it into an hour and 20 minutes with nothing to talk about. And I just realized we went a whole show without mentioning Brendan Gaughan.
Or Ricky Stenhouse.
Or Ricky Stenhouse's mullet.
Oh my!
I was very close to calling this week's show the Ricky Stenhouse Mullet Militia Podcast. So, but I didn't. So it's the Problems Podcast. So, what's coming up on your channel, Riley?
Not too much actually. pretty much the same as what I said there last week. Martinsville, I want to get it done by. I want to maybe do another lap tonight if I have enough time. There's not a ball game on tonight, so I won't be watching something. I'll have maybe a couple YouTube videos in the background. That's what I usually do. I usually watch some YouTube videos to get caught up on. They're usually Napa Fans Enter 2003 videos. If any of you guys want to go subscribe to him, go ahead. He does awesome with his videos. Crap. That keeps me busy while I work on my stop motion, and I want to hopefully. It's coming to lap 18 out of 20, and if I might be able to get it done up maybe either Saturday night, Sunday, or Monday. Hopefully, I'm not going to pressure myself, but and I want to do another top 10 facts you didn't know about the Snickers Cup series. I really want to do something like that, and I want to get together with my new partner on YouTube. Not really partner, but she helped me with my Justin Wilson editing. She did the video work, and I have her channel in that description if you guys want to check it out. She does great with her editing. That's kind of why I asked her if she could help me. But yeah, I want to do another couple videos like that. Maybe not Justin Wilson, but some different. I don't know. And basketball retards, if you don't mind me saying. Basketball retards. We're thinking of doing a couple more reaction videos. Planning on starting gaming on that channel as well. We asked for a PS4 for Christmas, and you can actually do video on a PS4 you can do it on the console itself, just clicking a button. And so hopefully we can do some gaming on there and put it on the Basketball Retards, which should be good, bring in a bigger fan base as well. And we're thinking of doing some commercials. I have some good ideas in mind if my brother can have a couple friends over soon. It should be good. Couple like remakes of videos. Snickers commercial is a big one I'm planning. Like, I know I've searched up before band commercials. Have you ever searched that up before?
I have.
Well, we're gonna do a Snickers band commercial, and
oh goody.
The title is going to be banned Snickers commercial, obviously, just to bring in a big view count. But it should be fun making it as well. I'm not going to spoil anything because I really think you guys will like it.
That reminds me of a video I did on my old group channel, Stick to Think Films, when I used to do Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 videos all the time, and I made a fake MasterCard commercial from like 2008. And so it's like the people walking in, and it's like, ticket price, $5. Riding your favorite roller coaster, $3. Family photo, $0. Getting hit by an an out of control 800-mile-an-hour roller coaster, priceless. And then it was like, it's great because my voice is so high pitched because I was like 12 when I made that. But it's hilarious. I think it's one of my favorite videos that I've made just because of how stupid it is. So I'll probably put a link to that below if you guys want to see that. You can hear me when I was so much younger.
I do.
All right, I'll put the link in the description for this, so you'll see it there. And links to everything will be in the description of this video. So, because I noticed somebody commenting on Colin's Instagram page, like, "Hey, what's Dale Jr. 88 Rocks' Instagram page?" It's the unofficial Bay, but if you are watching this show, when it gets uploaded to YouTube, all of our social media links will be in the description down there. I'll even put Colin's there because he's supposed to be on the show, but he's not. So those will all be there. So if you want to find us on Instagram or our other YouTube channels, or find me on Facebook, or at least my page on Facebook, they're all there. Coming up on my channel, apparently I'm going to do a reaction video to Boku no Pico, so we'll see how that goes. I've been wanting to do a list of my top 10 favorite videos that I've made, like editing-wise, and I'm still putting together the Dale Jr. 88 Rocks vault of videos that I never uploaded, which there would be more if I still had my old computer. So, and I've after or maybe even during Makita Truck Series Race 2, a remake of my old Lego short, The Alpha Team and the Rocket Chair. I'll put a link to the original one in the description. It's not on this channel. I've been wanting to do a remake of that with better animation and better voice acting and better editing because I'm a much better filmer and editor now since then. So that's another video that, despite it's made kind of crappily, it's one of my favorite ones because it is funny. So if you guys want to see that, it'll be below. I was going to upload something new for Minecraft Cube today at school because their internet's fast, but I forgot my hard drive at home. So it'll probably be a few more days before I upload something on there. And of course, you can find me on Instagram at @theunofficialbay, _unofficial_bay, BAE, whatever, because having unified branding is too much. I think that's everything. And yeah, obviously, I'll have links to Colin stuff at KLove Cup Series will be below. Any last words before we end the show?
Eggs are good for protein.
Eggs are good for protein. So they'll probably make you poop, though.
Oh well.
And on that note, we'll see you next time.